Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ricky J's Top 5
Dark Horse Fighters. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you listening?
Ricky J. Sports.
What up, people, and welcome to my top 5 favorite Dark Horse fighters. And when I'm talking about Dark Horse, let's define it right now. It is not Fabricio Verdum, not Conor McGregor, not John Jones. I'm talking about guys that aren't typically used as much in the game, guys that you sort of forget about. And I'm going to get right into it right now. My top 5 favorite
Dark Horse Fighters. Number 5.
Coming in at number 5 is one of my favorite impersonations to do is Damien Maya. Thank you, Ricky J, for putting me on number 5, but I should be number 1. But anyhow, beyond all the impersonations, this guy in the game is one of the best. The one thing I love about him is his ground game is second to none. Don't forget about his clinch game being awesome. But what I love about him is that his stand-up game is decent. So when his stand-up game is decent, and I'm a pretty good stand-up guy, I think I'm very good in the stand-up game, nobody wants to take you down. And you could knock dudes out using Damien Maya because people are in fear of taking you down, getting you in the clinch, because they know Damien Maya is the best in the division in those areas. So what I do is it's kind of counteractive. I use his ground game and clinch game to keep it on the feet, and then I just pick my opponent apart. And if my opponent dares to take me down, dares to clinch with me, it's going to be game over because, like I said, Damien Maya is awesome on the ground and in the clinch. So that's why he is amazing. He does get overpowered at times if you're facing a really skilled striker, but 9 times out of 10, I do well with Damien Maya.
Number 4.
Coming in at number 4 is the California kid, Uriah Faber. I just love this guy. He is really good in all areas, and the guys in the bantamweight division that you face, Dominic Cruz, Renan Barao, TJ Dillashaw, he stacks up so well against everybody because he's just so well-rounded. Let's take a look at his stats right here. So his stats are really good. His movement is top-notch. I'm looking at his punching speed, which makes it so fun to use him on the feet because he's just so fast, and he has great takedown defense, and he is really tough. At 90 on the feet, 89 in the clinch, and 94 on the ground, you're able to keep the fight wherever you want, and you will be great in every avenue. So right here, I typically love to keep it on the feet, but I'm okay with going for takedowns. His takedowns are really good, and like I said, if people try to take you down, his bottom game is awesome. But what I like to typically do is use his boxing, and the one thing that I like about him too is that he doesn't have any crazy dynamic strikes. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, why would you not want somebody with crazy dynamic strikes? I think typically that those type of strikes are stamina suckers. With Uriah Faber, you're able to throw with volume, and you don't have to worry about doing that silly spinning back kick or some crazy haymaker that's going to miss and drain out your stamina. So he's all about speed, precision, and not too much worried about the flash. And that's why I love Uriah Faber. I feel like anybody in the bantamweight division, oh man, what a punch right there, does not overpower him. So like with respect to Damien Maya, some guys will overpower Damien Maya, but when you're using Uriah Faber, there's nobody that can overpower him in the bantamweight division. Number 3. Coming in at number 3, people's Habib. I am terrified of this guy in real life, and in the game, he's just as terrifying. Obviously, his clinch and ground game is unbelievable. Look at that takedown defense at 97 and his clinch grappling at 94. You don't have to worry if your opponent decides to clinch up with you, try to get a slow dance with you, or tries to take you down. You do not have to worry. And if you can get that top game at 98, you are probably going to end the fight. His perk with the heavy hands is pretty good too because his stand-up isn't that bad. So you're able to keep the fight on the feet. What I like to do is just like what I do with Damien Maya, I like to disguise my ability to take the fight to the mat and keep it standing. And then I usually take out my opponent, which is awesome because you know what? Everybody that faces a Habib is always scared of the clinch or the takedowns. So they're going to invite keeping the fight on the feet, and that's where you shine if you got good game. But if you feel like your opponent is taking advantage of you on the feet, you always have that option to go to the clinch or to the ground, which is nice. And when you're down there, you know you're going to do awesome because he just has all the stats. The one knock, though, with Habib is through the, midway through the fight, his stand-up game seems slow. But what you do is when you see that his stand-up seems slow with respect to his opponent, you just take it to the mat. And he's got that crucifix position. And I find that when I get that crucifix position, I feel like I can hold it a lot better than anybody else in this game. And with that top game at 98, you're able to finish your opponent with the ground and pound. He is a beast, and he comes in at number 3, baby.
Number 2.
Oh yes, how can you make a dark horse list without putting the Killer Bee Ben Saunders on that list? And I love this guy. When I started using Ben Saunders, I developed a 30-fight win streak. He was just taking out people. But looking at his stats, people, it's not something that is too crazy. Yeah, it's not that great. At an 86 stand-up, 83 clinch, 86 on the ground. But it just seems like he is good in the areas that you need to be successful in a fight. I know that sounds funny, but he's good on the feet. He's good in the clinch with his strikes, his elbows and knees. Look at his perks right here. His tie tear, he has a good tie clinch there, and he's able to do some damage. He's got the razor elbows, but what also makes him really good is if he ever gets onto his back, he is good off of his back. He's able to scramble, to deny, to get out of positions. He also has rubber guard too, so you could suck the stamina out of your opponent. So there's no point where you're using Ben Saunders where you're afraid to get into any position. You know what I'm saying? Like with, say, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, he's very good on the feet, but if you get Stephen Thompson on his back, you know he's going to be in trouble. Or if you're using Stephen Thompson, you're going to be in trouble. But with Ben Saunders, in every area, he just seems awesome, man. He just seems really good. He also has the crucifix position, so you could drain the stamina off of your opponent and finish the fight that way. But wherever it goes, he is slick, he is cool, and his length is what makes him really good, man, because he totally fits my fighting style. That length where I'm able to use my kicks, keep my distance from my opponent as they're backing away, knock them out, go for the finish, go for the KO. Ben Saunders comes in at a solid number 2. If you haven't used Ben Saunders yet, you're totally missing out. Give him a try, people. I swear, he's amazing, and he is at number 2. Before I reveal my number 1 favorite dark horse fighter, I want you to take a moment. You guys have seen my videos. You've seen my fighting style. Who do you think it is? I'm going to give you some time.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Number 1.
Oh yes, I'm sure the majority of you picked this guy. The long, the lean, the mean Neil Magny, coming in at my dark horse list at number 1. And taking a look at his stats right here, he's 88s all around, man. He is 88s all around. But what makes him so great is his length. In the welterweight division, he is the tallest. He has the longest reach at an 80-inch reach. And he totally fits my fighting style. I love to keep my distance, use my kicks, basically be very calculated with my strikes. And if your opponent feels like he's being outworked on the feet, you don't have to worry, because if they try to take you down, Neil Magny is a beast on the ground. He's able to neutralize people's ground game, and his clinch isn't bad if you are very careful with respect to his stamina. So anywhere where the fight goes in the welterweight division, if you're using Neil Magny, he is definitely a beast. And I have totally upped my game using Neil Magny. I've gone from, 200 wins above 500 to something like close to 400 wins above 500. So, and it's all thanks to Neil Magny. People can't take him. He's almost like a middleweight in the welterweight division. He's a big beast. He seems much stronger and faster than the majority of the people that you fight. I don't know what it is. I know it's just me, but as a whole, he just seems so good. And look at this. This fight here against Woodley. Woodley is a beast in the welterweight division. He just dwarfs him. And then against guys like this, you're able to use his length and his kicks. And he doesn't have a lot of dynamic kicks, a lot of crazy strikes, but that's what makes him good, because just like I said earlier with Uriah Faber, he's kind of like a stretched out version of Uriah Faber. You're able to use his length and use volume to strike, to attack your opponent, and you don't have to worry too much about some crazy spinning side kick that's going to drain out your stamina. So as a whole, you guys have to try Neil Magny. A lot of you have already jumped on board using the dark horse Neil Magny in your fights. He is unbelievable. So let me know, people, who your top 5 favorite... Oh, what a kick right there. Your top 5 favorite dark horse fighters. Again, what I mean by dark horse, I'm not talking about guys that are champions that have crazy stats that are in the high 90s. So don't tell me GSP, don't tell me Conor McGregor, don't tell me Robbie Lawler. I'm talking about guys that you don't typically see being used in this game. I want to see your list, okay, baby? Let's get a discussion going. I want to pick some new fighters to use, and I want to know what you guys think are killer guys to use in the game. All right, people, this is Ricky J, baby, from Ricky J Sports. I really enjoyed making this video, and you know what?
You are awesome.